Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I am here with another 1440p video for you. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Man, I I'm not struggling or anything, man. Like I'm really enjoying 1440p. This monitor, man. I've been playing Spider-Man again this weekend. I've downloaded a bunch of my Xbox games on the PC. This all started. I decided to go ahead and pull the 2 terabyte SSD out of my PlayStation 5 and stick that in my PC. Uh, I needed more space. I need more space on my PC, man. I would much rather play a lot of these games on the PC now. Especially when it comes to Sony first party games. Man, I don't know why I am so hard on the PlayStation 5. Like I said, it's not a bad console. It's really not a bad console for the price that you pay for that thing. That is not a bad deal. I don't understand why I'm so I think it's just because I'm so sick and tired of PlayStation lying to me about 4K and the capabilities of the console, and then it always falling short. That's my biggest thing. Like, I'm so sick and tired of being lied to by PlayStation I've been a PlayStation fan for so long. PlayStation 1 and 2, never really felt lied to about it. I mean, like, clearly the PlayStation 2 could have potential. Well, no, the PlayStation 2 came out. Well, the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, I was pretty much oblivious to it. Didn't really matter. You're still playing on 480p. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 were just fine. They got me through. They were enough to to build a relationship and to keep me gaming on the PlayStation console. They were literally perfect for me. Xbox was a newcomer to the show. Sega Dreamcast was put out of business. It didn't matter. Like, my only options were, PlayStation 2, GameCube, or Xbox at that point. Xbox just didn't have enough games. I did have an Xbox, an original Xbox, along with my PlayStation 2 and my GameCube all at the same time. But the PlayStation 2 was where I played the majority of my games back then. PlayStation 3 comes out, and I mean, it was. I had the same feeling a lot of PlayStation fanboys have right now for the PlayStation 5. I was like, oh my gosh, man, this thing is so premium, it's so cool, and it's so expensive. And, like, dude, I was so delusional with the PlayStation 3 that like I was snobby about Xbox 360. I was literally snobby about it. I bought one, but I had the kids playing that. The kids were playing the Xbox 360. Why I was like, hey, yeah, my PlayStation 3 is just so freaking great, man. It's all, yeah, dude. I was that freaking delusional back then. I was pretty delusional. I was pretty delusional. Like, PlayStation 3 toward the end started dropping some, pretty good games. We got like Uncharted, we got, Infamous, those types of games that were like really cool. We had a lot of good games on the PlayStation 3. That's where I played the Assassin's Creed games, all of that stuff. 360, I didn't really give it that much of a chance. I mean, I played some games on it, like Sacred 3 and, Castlevania, because there was a point in time where all I had in the house at a time was just the Xbox 360. So I did play some games toward the the middle, a little bit toward the end of that generation. Well, like 2010, 2011, I was playing on the Xbox 360. That's all I had. Then I got my PlayStation 3 back, and then, like, through the end of the generation, I played like the rest of my games on the PlayStation 3. Well, here's the thing, man. Since getting this update for 1440p on the PlayStation 5, I don't mean to go through like a whole history lesson with all the games that I've played and all that stuff. Kind of got off on a little tangent there, but here's the thing, man. Since this update for the PlayStation 5, this beta for 1440p has really changed my outlook on how I'm feeling about the PlayStation 5. But not enough for me to keep that 2 terabyte in there. Well, I do plan on, getting another SSD for it. I figured the 980 Pro that I got right now, I could throw that in a PC, and then I could just buy, like a Firecuda or something like that. A little later down the road. Once I'm kind of on the fence, man. If PlayStation does that PC launcher and we get dual entitlement for PC and PlayStation 5, then that's great. Like that'll be fine. I'll buy another hard drive for the PlayStation 5 and I will, have them, downloaded on my PC and on my PlayStation. And then I'll be able to see like, okay, well, what way do I want to play this? Do I want to play it on the PlayStation 5 on the 1440p monitor? Do I want to check it out on a 4K TV? Do I, I'll have the options to be able to decide how to get the best gaming experience for me when it comes to PlayStation first party games going forward. I'm not going to buy any more third-party games on PlayStation 5. Like, I have no desire to. The Xbox, I still will be buying the majority of my games there. Because let's face it, a lot of the times the games are going to come out way better optimized on console than they are on PC. We have Way of the Hunter that just came out recently. It runs fairly decently on Xbox. I'm not having that big of a problem with it. I mean, whatever the bugs that are there, they're manageable enough to where I'm like, okay, yeah, obviously this game's going to get fixed. It wasn't like it was a $70 game or anything like that. So it's like I kind of expected it to come in hot. And I was surprised at, just how playable it was, during the early access and everything that I had with it. But I guess the PC version is having like a lot more issues. And that's, for me, I would much rather just buy like an Xbox copy, because I was buying dual games there for a while, buying them on the PlayStation 5, buying them on the Xbox. And now it's like, yeah, I'll just buy at launch, I'll buy the Xbox version of all these games so that I can, 1, make content for the channel, 2, play them day one. And then a little bit later down the road, I'll just, get on an eBay or something and I'll grab me a PC code, nice and cheap, and throw it on the PC and play it that way. Because there's been some games that have come out, especially on the PlayStation 5, that I bought them on PlayStation 5, ended up buying them on PC, and went through and completed them on the PC because it was just a better experience. And that's happened way more on the PC than it has on the Xbox. But now we're going to get back to this 1440p talk for a minute, because I love 1440p. So much, in fact, that yes, I made an executive decision and I deleted Flight Simulator off of my Xbox. And I will be playing it on the PC exclusively from now on. Yeah. There's a reason for that. With the PC version, I'm not saying that the Xbox version is bad by any means. It is 100% playable. It looks fine. It looks just as good as it does on the PC running on my PC. But I get better frame rate. I get better frame rate on the PC, and I get ray tracing. So I'm like, oh boy, this is this is pretty cool. So I did do that one. I'm kind of on the fence about doing the same thing with Forza Horizon 5 right now. Like, the big reason why I've not tried to do Forza Horizon 5, like, because that would save me a lot of room on my hard drive on the Xbox if I just play it on the PC. Because there's not a whole lot of games on the PC that I got that I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to turn it on and play on the PC. So I'm trying to organize things a little bit to where I am actively playing more on each console, giving them the fair thing. With the PlayStation, I put on the essential games, stuff that I'm still making content for, like Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man. All of those games, I have 4 games on there right now that I'm like, yeah, these are ones that I should keep on there so I can keep making content for them. But when it comes until I get another replacement SSD for that, I want to just get one with a heatsink already built onto it. I have no intention on not covering the PlayStation 5 anymore. Like, now that 1440p update's there, it is really awesome. We're going to be covering The Last of Us remake on the channel here shortly. But, man, dude, this 1440p has got me so mixed up in my feelings right now about gaming and what type of screen I want to game on that I don't know. Like, I don't know anymore. It's really playing Spider-Man all last weekend, throughout the week, the last couple of days, gosh, man, it's transformed this experience. Like, being able to just play this game with a maxed out field of view and full ray tracing and everything, well over 60 frames a second most of the time. I mean, yeah, it does dip, whatever, because of the ray tracing, but not enough to impact my experience to the point where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like and I did. I've given the PlayStation 5 version a very fair shot at this, man. I put it on there last night on the 4K TV, and I was just like, my gosh, man. It just even though it says it goes up to 120 frames, like it doesn't feel as fluid as it does on the PC. Like it doesn't feel that fluid on PlayStation 5 as it does on the PC. Like it feels incredibly better. And that is massive when you have a game like that. Like this PC thing is like really starting to it's definitely earned itself a fair spot, like for my attention for gaming. That's 100% true. Like it's right there. Like I'm like, oh boy, yeah. Like I can theoretically pick. If it when it comes down to it, now I'm more likely to. I mean, I'm still more likely to turn on my Xbox than I am the PC or the PlayStation 5. But it's getting to a point now where I'm like, man, dude, I feel like playing Spider-Man. I turn on the PC. I feel like playing Flight Simulator. I turn on the PC. I feel like playing, Forza 7. I turn on the PC. Like that one there, exclusively on the freaking PC now. I was playing that today, and I'm like, oh my freaking gosh. It's just little things like that have started to like really open my eyes to the 1440p experience a lot more. And I'm telling you, like, us older gamers, I mean, like you younger guys too. Like you younger guys, like the younger gamers, man, get a 1440p monitor. Put your new next gen console on there. And you're gonna save yourself a bunch of money that you probably it's like money's a little bit harder to come by now these days. So yeah, dude, get a 1440p monitor, stick it on there. But us older guys, they can afford to have like an OLED TV and everything. It's not a bad idea to get yourself a 1440p monitor as well. Like it's not a bad deal. Like you're not missing literally anything by putting your Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 on a 1440p monitor. You're literally not, I mean, you're actually gaining on a lot of games. All the older games pre-freaking Xbox One X literally look incredible. Like I put out a video last night. I'm sitting there on Dirt 4. Dirt 4 came out in 2017, just a few months, like June, before the Xbox One X came out. I had bought that on my Xbox One S, and I was playing. I bought it on the PS4 Pro too, so it didn't matter. I had 2 copies of that game. I still have two copies of that game. But I was playing this the other day. It got 100. I mean, when it got FPS boosted, it's FPS boosted to 120 frames a second, and it has auto HDR. So when you turn those on and you're sitting there and you're playing Dirt 4, like it literally feels like a brand new game. Like it was in between Dirt Rally and Dirt Rally 2.0. So it's kind of got a mix, the better visuals, but it didn't get the full next gen support. I mean, the mid range upgrade, the midlife upgrade, it didn't get those. But now that it's got way better, it's got way better than what it would have had if it would have had those. And I'm a lot happier because now I can play that on my 1440p monitor. It looks crisp, it looks good, and it feels incredible. It literally feels incredible, and that's just like the main thing for if you're an Xbox player. The main thing, because don't get me wrong, man, your Xbox Series X on a 4K screen, it looks good 90% of the time. Like it looks fine. It looks just fine. Like most of the games look really, really good. So that's not even a question. Like your Xbox Series X is going to utilize a 4K screen a lot better than your PlayStation 5 for sure. PlayStation 5, there are some games out there that they do utilize the 4K screen pretty good, like not bad. I mean, I feel more like my PlayStation 5 is more equal to the experience on a 4K TV that I was getting with Xbox One X. That's basically how I feel. And that's why it like irritates me so much, is because my Xbox One X was pushing like some pretty decent visuals for what it had back in those days. Whereas the PlayStation 5 is the same price as an Xbox Series X, but it's just not quite there on most stuff. Yeah, PlayStation first party games look great. Well, whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's no secret to anybody on the planet anymore. But when it comes to just 100% like a 4K experience, the Xbox Series X is definitely giving that. But what it does on a 1440p monitor as well as the PlayStation 5. Like, they look incredible. They look incredible. I'm telling you, like, these things look so dang good that I can put my PC, my Xbox Series X, and my PlayStation 5 all on the same monitor. And like, it is very hard to tell the difference between visual quality from what I'm getting from my PC. Like, it's pretty hard to tell the difference on some of these games. What kind of visual quality I'm getting between playing them on that monitor. Like, it is that good that you don't feel like your experience is any less. And in fact, it feels like everything is far more consistent on a 1440p monitor across these next-gen consoles, including the Xbox Series S. It holds up extremely well. It looks really good on a 1440p monitor. Like, it just does. Like, 1440p. The reason why we're even talking about 4K is because the TV manufacturers didn't want to go from 1080p to 1440p. They wanted to go straight, do that huge leap to 4K, which is good for the most part. But I mean, we're not even getting movies that are native 4K yet, like that are all rendered like CGI and everything in 4K. Like, we're not even getting that. Like, we're getting 1440p. Like, we're getting 2K on a lot of stuff. I mean, like, when you watch a movie that's like, that doesn't have a whole lot of, production values and stuff like that. Like, when you're watching, I mean, those are filmed in 4K, whatever, But the fact of the matter is that you're not even getting anything on 4K. And even these 3090 Ti's and 3090 cards, man, they're struggling to really do 4K at like really high frame rates. So, I mean, we haven't necessarily, like, our technology, our rendering technology really hasn't hit a 4K level yet. So there's no shame whatsoever in dropping to a 1440p and enjoying high frame rates and beautiful visuals, like visuals that we have never seen on consoles before. Like, never have we seen pixels as full as they are when you put any of your new next gen consoles on a 1440p monitor. You've never seen that before. Xbox Series S looks closer to what like the top of the line systems did on like when PlayStation 4 and Xbox One X or Xbox One came out back last generation, and you were still rocking a 1080p TV. That's kind of how Series S looks on a 1440p monitor. It looks more like just a traditional next gen upgrade. That's exactly what it looks like. Some games look really freaking pristine. Some games look a little bit soft. And, performance wise, like, yeah, there's definitely different performance categories for the Xbox Series S that, you're going to play some games at 30 frames a second. Some games you're going to play at 60. Some games you're going to play it in between 80 and 120 frames a second on the Xbox Series S. That is a really good bang for your buck on a 1440p monitor. In fact, I might even recommend a 1080p monitor for Series S. I might even recommend so that you can get a more fuller, better experience rocking that 1440p monitor or rocking that 1080p monitor with your Series S. That's just the thing, man. These games are freaking amazing. We're getting a lot of higher quality visuals these days, and with Unreal Engine 5 looming, on horizon for next gen gaming, I think we're going to get more bang for our buck. 1440p. I think we're going to get more bang for our buck out of these consoles, and instead of like freaking out and being upset about 4K all the time, like who cares about 4K, man? I'm literally telling you, as your friend, as somebody that consumes this just like you do, just like you. I'm not anybody super special. I'm really not anybody super special. I'm just a gamer just like you that has spent a lot of money and been wooed by all the freaking, oh yes, you can do 4K and blah blah blah. And I'm so sick and tired of the freaking lies, dude. Sony Magic just isn't cutting it on a 4K TV, man. It's not doing it for me. It's not doing it for me. But Sony Magic on a 1440p monitor, yeah, dude, I'm happy. I'm back. I'm more in my like that. You know how you like when you get a new console and you're in honeymoon phase. It like re-woke up the honeymoon phase for me to play that on a 1440p monitor. But now I'm sharing that with a freaking PC right now, and it's PlayStation's fault that I even have a PC. Like, it's literally PlayStation's fault that I have a PC. They started putting their games on PC, and I was like, yeah, dude, I want to see how much better they are. I want to see. It's literally PlayStation's fault, and like a couple of you, some of you telling me to go PC, but now I'm sharing that, now it's like the honeymoon phase with all three. I mean, Xbox I'm starting to chill out a little bit on because they haven't really put out, I want to see a next gen Xbox game. I want to see if what those studios are going to do. So I've kind of like cooled my jets a little bit, on the whole oh yeah, Xbox is better than everything. I mean, it is. Like, the Xbox Series X is an incredible freaking value, and it's an incredible console. I've had more fun on my Xbox this last generation than I had on my PlayStation, on my PlayStation 4 Pro and whatever else. So yeah, I'm good. I'm a lot more happy with the overall representation that Xbox has given me on a 4K screen. Like I am. Like, I will still keep my Xbox hooked up to a 4K screen and still play it because I get Dolby Vision too. So, but that's pretty much that rant, man. That's how I'm feeling about 1440p. Like, I really do feel like 1440p is the sweet spot for gaming right now. Maybe these consoles do a mid-gen refresh. Maybe 4K is. I mean, dude, we're looking at a lot of T-flops just to really push 4K at playable frame rates. And really give you like the super high. I mean, like, right now, a lot of the games we've been playing are cross-gen. So yeah, they're able to put like higher settings, higher stuff, all of that. But that leaves me worried, I mean, if we're going to try to keep hitting 4K, like, I don't think any of these consoles are really going to hold up that well 4K going forward once the new rendering techniques and everything come out. I mean, they'll always do pretty good. Like, they'll be pretty close, but I think the 1440p is going to definitely give us more bang for our buck. And we'll be a lot happier, and hopefully developers will support like a high quality 1440p mode going forward on both consoles, because I feel like that'd be awesome. You look at Madden 23 just came out. They're rocking a 1440p 120 hertz mode. I think that's why PlayStation's like, oh my gosh, we better take this seriously because they're going to have it on Xbox. And yeah, dude, Xbox is pushing PlayStation to do stuff that they were like, man, we don't care. People want 4K. And it's like, dude, you can't even do 4K. So, 1440p, man, it's good. Cabbage, don't at me, man. I like 1440p. It's pretty cool, but I like 4K as well. I just want these consoles to really produce a 4K experience that, gosh, man, once you see 1440p, once you see 1440p, it's kind of hard to not love it. So, all right, man. If you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and a shout out to Chivalry 2. I freaking love this game. I freaking love it. It's an amazing game. You should play it. You should own it. So have a good night, guys, and thank you for watching.